Welcome to ATV Cast, the official ATV Craft podcast. This episode is a little bit late, but it's finally here. Today, Zachary and I are going to talk about some Star Wars, Avengers, and more. But first, we're going to kick off with the game. Last week, we played the Star YouTuber edition, and this week, we're going to see if Zachary can identify the Star Wars characters based on the description I give him. You ready?
This should be easy.
Alright, we're starting off with some easier ones, then we're going to get a little bit trickier. This Kalish star was turned into a cyborg after being severely injured.
General Grievous.
That's correct. Next up, this famous Clone Wars star was an admiral that served under Anakin Skywalker and was killed in the destruction of the first Death Star.
Admiral Yularen. Or however you say that.
Yeah, Yularen, I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Next up, this star is the only character in the franchise known to have died of sadness.
Oh, Padme Amidala.
Yep, now you're 3 for 3. That's pretty good. This bounty hunter star is known for his relevance to the phrase, hand shot first.
Greedo.
Greedo, yeah. This star debuted in the Clone Wars, being widely hated, but developed into one of the franchise's most beloved characters.
Ahsoka Tano.
Yep. This star was a clone commando, who retired with clones Rex and Wolf after being considered killed in action.
Pardon?
This star was a clone commando who retired with clones Rex and Wolf after being killed in action. After being considered killed in action.
Gregor.
Yep, that's Gregor. Now you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 6. This star appeared after the fall of the Empire, wielding the ancient Darksaber.
Oh, Moff Gideon.
Yep, Moff Gideon. This ancient star had his lower jaw severed in a duel with his master.
Darth Malak.
Yep, Darth Malak. This star was the master of Rebels character Kanan Jarrus.
I know this. It was the Padawan of Mace Windu. Get her name. I feel like it starts with a D.
Yep.
But I honestly don't remember.
I'll give you half points for that. Depa Billaba. Because you got it right. Padawan of Mace Windu. Starts with the D. So I'll give you half a point for that. So 8.5 for 9 now. And the last one. This star was an ARC trooper in the 501st Legion who was killed when his cruiser violently crashed upon a planet.
Jesse, right?
Yep, Jesse. So you got 9.5 out of 10 questions right. That's pretty good. Daniel did like
Easy.
6 out of 10 last week. So like this is... Except for the 9th question. And like you still got like half right. That was very solid. We'll see if anybody can beat that high score in the future. Now, topic 1, the future of Star Wars. Recently, there have been all sorts of official announcements and rumors regarding Star Wars, and we'll get into those later. But for now, let's talk about the confirmed upcoming Star Wars projects. Recently, the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer dropped, and I'd like to talk about it for a bit, and how you think it could change overall Star Wars canon.
Well... It was a pretty good trailer.
It was pretty good.
I mean, it looks like we're going to find out more about Yoda's species, which should be interesting. And
I think it'll go one of two ways. I think either it will be like kind of it'll show into the First Order, or it'll show into like I think it'll either bring one of two things into depth, either the rise of the First Order or what life under the New Republic was like, because we did see a dogfight between the Mandalorian and some X-Wings. So I can imagine that there would be a bit of there'd be like a lot more knowledge about what the Republic was like after. Well, I saw them shooting, I suppose. I can't say for sure it was a fight. I guess you're right.
how did they?
But I think that's either going to show.
Shooting up some TIE fighters.
You don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it will likely show. It'll either show the rise of the First Order, or the rise of the New Republic, or possibly both. I think that's going to be pretty cool. Next up, how do you feel about the Bad Batch TV series? Yeah. How do you feel about the Bad Batch TV series, which Star Wars has now ordered?
I honestly don't really care. I mean, Bad Batch wasn't interesting.
I'll be on, yeah.
But I think there's more important things that they should be working on.
I would agree with that, yeah. But I also didn't especially like the Bad Batch. Like season 7, the last 4 episodes, I absolutely loved them, but the rest of the season was kind of, not too great, I would say. But I do think that the Bad Batch TV series could have some interesting scenes with the inhibitor chips, since they are modified clones. So it kind of begs the question: are they all going to become part of the Empire, or are they going to have some sort of infighting, or are they going to actually become part of the Rebel Alliance? It's kind of something to think about.
Yeah.
I think probably the coolest thing they could do with it is show Imperial Stormtroopers as the good guys. Like, they could make the Bad Batch Stormtroopers and have them as protagonists, which would be an interesting new view.
That would be interesting.
But aside from that, yeah. And lastly, regarding upcoming confirmed material, do you have any speculations regarding the new Star Wars trilogy coming out?
It will be a Star Wars trilogy. I don't know.
Well, I was honestly very scared because I thought it was going to be directed by Rian Johnson, but I think there's a very strong, it's very possible that they will actually, I think it can go either one of two ways. They'll make it about, whatever Rey does after the sequels, so the sequels of the sequels, or I think it could also be about the Old Republic, which I think would be very, very cool, especially to see, like, potentially Revan and Malak and all the kind of the long built-up characters. So
Yes.
either that, or it'll be like the rise of the Republic, so like 1,000 years before the Skywalker saga takes place.
Yeah.
I think that would be probably really cool.
Yeah. Anything before the
Now, those are the confirmed projects. Although it was described to be a period of relative peace, so I would really like to see kind of either the rise of Darth Revan or the rise of Darth Bane, and kind of see like what that's like. Like maybe the transition of the Sith between the older days and the rule of the two. I think that would be very cool to see.
Yeah.
Now, those are the confirmed projects, but there have also been some rumors. One has suggested that Kathleen Kennedy, the Disney Lucasfilm president's contract, will no longer be renewed or even potentially bought out. How do you feel about this?
I don't know. I mean, I know I'm in the minority, but I personally didn't think the sequels were that bad. I probably would get, like, murdered over that, but that's my honest opinion. But yeah,
I think that they weren't bad movies if you look at them as movies, but I don't feel like they tie into Star Wars very well, which is my criticism of the films. But I think that a new direction, potentially one done by, Dave Filoni, could be especially good, or Jon Favreau, because they have been, like, the Disney 7th season of the Clone Wars was really great, and I also really like The Mandalorian, so I think that Disney isn't entirely on the wrong path. I think that, like, a new president could definitely, like, change kind of the direction of Disney.
Yeah.
And finally, possibly the most radical of all the rumors has been that Disney plans to erase the sequel trilogy due to the poor amounts of revenue mostly, as well as some fan complaints. How do you feel about this rumor?
I think that's a terrible idea.
I think that I've got kind of mixed feelings about it, because on one hand, it would be kind of a waste of Carrie Fisher's last performance, but in Disney's perspective, at least from the financial perspective, the Rise of Skywalker only earned half the box office revenue of The Force Awakens, so I feel like if they want to, like, really kind of make a big gamble and try to make a lot of money, they could potentially, like, redo the sequels in an attempt to kind of gain back some money. But I think that's unlikely, as I feel like, despite the fact that not too many people are big fans of the sequels, I don't feel like people dislike it so much that they would actually have it removed. But it could go either way. They could either make lots of money or lose the franchise as a whole. Now, the second topic. Zachary has been working on this game for the past few months, which is really, really entertaining, called Avengers. You guys have probably played before. And now we're going to talk about the planned features of Avengers, specifically for the beta release. What do you think is planned for the beta release?
Well, I mean, it's also going to be, like, more people you can play as, and more things to fight. I'm contemplating adding a story mode, which should be interesting. But I don't know about that yet.
I think I'd enjoy story mode.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay. I think story mode would be
Most
really
people
cool. I
do,
think
yeah.
I'd really enjoy story mode.
Yeah.
What do you plan to add after the beta release?
I mean, if I do decide to do a story mode, that will probably be after the beta release. And
Okay.
I'd probably also, maybe add, like, exclusive heroes that you can win from, like, doing stuff. I don't know.
Okay. So sort of, unlockable heroes that, you earn as you go through. That'd be cool. And finally,
Yeah.
the last question of tonight. What do you think people should be the most excited for in the Avengers update or another update in the near future?
Being able to smack Thanos into the dirt.
Planning on adding like an Infinity War kind of update or
Yeah, something like that.
anything else to be excited for? Or?
I mean, I don't know, really.
Okay. This has been ATV Cast, the official ATV Craft podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next week, see ya. Donna.
Goodbye.
Donna.